Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to use intention to improve the way you walk. Intention means using your mind to direct your body movements. When we move with the proper intention, it can help us move with more fluidity, with better alignment of our spine, and with lower impact on our joints. When we move without the proper intention or with no intention, we can end up with poor alignment and higher impact and a whole multitude of spinal and joint issues. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dr. Todd Martin, creator of The Walking Code. I want to let everybody know that I have great news. The new Walking Code online course, Transform Your Walk, Root, Power, and Direction, will be out in just 2 weeks, released on May 1st. The course is going to include not only the Walking Code course, but it's going to include the Tai Chi Code along with it and the Walking Code archive, which is my entire back catalog of YouTube videos, many of which are no longer accessible on YouTube. So if you are interested in improving the way you walk, improving your alignment, and reducing impact on your joints, you can sign up for the wait list by going over to the website after you finish this video. The link will be above or in the description section. Also, I do recommend jumping on this opportunity right away. It's going to be a low-cost subscription model, so the most people can access it. And also for the first 20 subscribers, they're going to be able to send me videos so I can help them analyze their self-assessment and direct them on which videos to focus on in the course for their particular problem. Again, that's only available for the first 20 subscribers. As I mentioned earlier, intention is using the mind to move the body. And a simple example of this is flexing of the arm. When we flex the arm, we are using our mind to tell the arm to bend. And it is a subconscious intention because we're not trying to decide exactly what muscles are going on in the arm. We simply have an intention to bend the arm, so we bend the arm. But an example of an incorrect intention would be to think about bending the arm by squeezing the bicep muscle. If we try that, we can squeeze like all day long, and the arm is not going to bend because just squeezing the bicep muscle doesn't move the arm. Squeezing the bicep muscle really means tightening it against the opposing tricep muscle and creating tension, not movement. So we need to have an intention that involves moving. And the arm bending is probably the simplest example because we just have to intend to make the arm bend. The intention for walking is much more complex because it involves almost all of our muscles. Now, there's also an example of using no intention. As I mentioned earlier, intention is using the mind to move the body. And a simple example of this is flexing of the arm. When we flex the arm, we are using our mind to tell the arm to bend. And it is a subconscious intention because we're not trying to decide exactly what muscles are going on in the arm. We simply have an intention to bend the arm, so we bend the arm. But an example of an incorrect intention would be to think about bending the arm by squeezing the bicep muscle. If we try that, we can squeeze like all day long, and the arm is not going to bend because just squeezing the bicep muscle doesn't move the arm. Squeezing the bicep muscle really means tightening it against the opposing tricep muscle and creating tension, not movement. So we need to have an intention that involves moving. And the arm bending is probably the simplest example because we just have to intend to make the arm bend. The intention for walking is much more complex because it involves almost all of our muscles. Now, there's also an example of using no intention. If you were to touch a hot stove with your finger, your arm would just flex immediately by reflex. No mental thought involved. We also have those reflexes that work in our lower body that can allow us to move reflexively and, generally speaking, prevent us from falling over even if we are not thinking about it the right way or we are moving with the wrong intention. Our reflexes will prevent us from falling over. So we are capable of moving in an incorrect way in a variety of different fashions without falling over because our reflexes prevent the fall. They make us counterbalance automatically with no intent involved. But it will misalign the spine, and often that's going to result in higher impact on our joints. If we want to move with proper alignment and lower impact on our joints, we need to move with the proper intention. And so I'm going to talk about a few different intentions that we should be thinking about, at least at a subconscious level. First is the intention to remain with vertical posture, the intent to elongate the spine upward, not leaning forward or slouching down. Elongate the spine, that is an intention. And we can just begin any movement with that intention, and we're probably going to be doing pretty well. Even if I'm not thinking about what else is happening, I'm just thinking about keeping the spine elongated. Now let's add another intention that will help smooth things out even further, and that is the intention to change weight. If we stand on two legs like this before we start walking, and we just begin to try to walk without thinking about changing weight, we may start to fall forward and use gravity. Of course, that is going to break the vertical intention as well. But to do it properly, what we need to do is think about the vertical intention and think about shifting your weight to one leg or the other. That is going to be the leg you're going to stand on, and then you're going to step off with the other leg. That changing weight intention should come before we try to move forward. So if you've heard people talk about the idea of beginning to walk by leaning forward and then walk, that is a bad intention. We need to first shift our weight. If you've ever couples danced with another person, you'll understand the importance of this. When you dance with somebody in front of you, the first thing you have to do before beginning to move forward is shift your weight so your partner can shift their weight, so you're both standing on one leg and can move off with the other leg without stepping on each other. If you have your feet planted like this and then just begin to try to move, your partner doesn't know what leg to move off with, and they're going to be stuck and you're going to end up stepping on each other. It's not quite as obvious when you're moving without a partner, but it is just as important. Shift your weight and then begin to step off. The third intention I want to talk about is moving forward from one side of the body or the other. And we're talking about the side of the body where you have just shifted your weight onto. If I shift my weight onto the left leg, I want to intend to move forward from the left side of the body. Think of my left arm moving forward. Think of the left side of my core moving forward. That is the intention. And then if I step forward in that manner, when I swing through and I want to step on the next foot, I now change the intention to move forward on the other side, my right side, and then move forward on the left side, the right side, the left side. The arm swing is going to reflect that intention. When I step forward with the right leg, I need that forward intention on the left. And then I bring down the right heel by changing the intention to move forward on the right. And then forward on the left, forward on the right. If we move forward from the entire body at the same time, we end up leaning forward, because these muscles that rotate the body and move forward on the left or forward on the right also come along with flexion of the spine. When we use one side at a time, that muscle movement is counterbalanced by our weight change and allows us to remain vertical. But if we move forward from both sides at the same time, then we have too much forward flexion from our upper abdominal muscles, the same muscles we use when we do a sit-up. If we activate them both at the same time, the body is going to flex forward, and then we're going to end up in a lean. So that's why we need to have the intention to move from one side or the other side all the time. Now, the fourth and final intention that I want you to learn is intending to power with the standing leg. When we step forward, I change weight, and then now I have to swing through. I want to power with the leg that I'm standing on. That is what is going to make the leg go behind the body and project the other leg forward. My right leg is powering, now my left leg, right leg. What we don't want to have is the intention of powering with the swing leg, trying to swing the swing leg forward in this manner. The reason is this: if we're standing with vertical posture, if you try to swing your swing leg forward, this is what's going to happen. It doesn't make you go forward unless you turn your feet out at an angle, in which case you can place this way and that way. And what will happen is you will end up walking with duck feet, which is a very common problem. That is the only way to walk powering with the swing leg if you have vertical posture. The other way to walk powering with the swing leg is if we fall off that vertical posture and we have a forward lean, either from the upper waist forward lean, or we have a more subtle forward lean from the anterior pelvic tilt, leaning the body forward. In those cases, yes, I can pick up the foot and step forward like this without powering with the standing leg, because gravity is really pulling me forward in this situation. If I bring my posture back up to vertical, now the swing leg doesn't get me to go. I need to use the standing leg to power the step to go forward. So in review, we have 4 intentions that we need to have at least at the subconscious level. 1, intend to have vertical posture, not to begin leaning. Number 2, intend to shift weight to the leg that you want to step off with, or the leg you want to have weighted when you step off, either the right leg or the left leg before you begin to walk. Number 3, move from one side of the body at a time. Right, left, left, right, left, right. Not both sides at the same time, because if you do both sides, you're going to end up leaning forward. And then the 4th and final intention is powering your movement with the standing leg to project your body forward, not the swing leg to try to swing like that. If you learn how to use those 4 intentions, I believe you're going to be able to keep that vertical posture, walk with better alignment, and reduce the impact on your joints. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And remember, if you are at all interested in the Walking Code online course, which comes along with the Tai Chi Code and the Walking Code archive, jump right over to the website and pop onto the waiting list if this is before May 1st. And if it is after May 1st, you can subscribe right now.